All's fairing in love and war. The aero battle in MotoGP rages on. We've seen new fairings today from Yamaha, from Honda, and from the factory Ducati team as well. All important race simulations being carried out on this third and final day. A very impressive race run just completed over in the Far East by Yamaha's Maverick Vinales. More on that later. And coming up live and exclusive in about 1 hour's time, stay tuned to After the Flag. Jorge Lorenzo, the triple MotoGP World Champion, joining us live at around 11:30 a.m. Barcelona time. Good morning, a very warm welcome to you from MotoGP headquarters here in Barcelona. Wow. What a final day we've had so far over at the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. We have still got another half an hour on track to go, but what a final day it's been so far for Ducati. A truly remarkable performance by their new factory rider Danilo Petrucci. When you left us yesterday, we suspected possibly that the all-time fastest ever two-wheel lap of Sepang would be broken. That record was held by Jorge Lorenzo, who, as we say, will be joining us a little bit later on today. A 1:58.830. That was the lap time that everybody was looking at this morning in slightly cooler conditions. Could anybody beat it? Well, they could, and some. Danilo Petrucci obliterating that record lap, a 1:58.239, ducking under Lorenzo's benchmark from last year by 0.6 of a second. And as we say, what a morning for Ducati, with Pecco Bagnaia in second place. Outstanding job by the Moto2 World Champion. And, of course, the rookie in MotoGP, Jack Miller third, and Andrea Dovizioso fourth. It's been a good job for the Italian factory this morning. I'm Matt Burt. I'm delighted to say, standing alongside me again to run you through some fantastic action on the third and final day over in Malaysia is Neil Morrison. We're joining and crossing live to Malaysia very, very shortly to speak to Simon Crafer. But, Neil, when you look at those timesheets as they sit right now, what a final day it's been so far for Ducati, and in particular Danilo Petrucci.
Yeah, it's been a spectacular day. 4 Ducatis in the first 4 positions. I think that surpasses even their wildest expectations coming into this test. A very strong day for the Bologna factory. And it's been an interesting test overall because we've had 3 dry days, no rain whatsoever, and it's the first time in the last couple of years, I think, that it's been like that. So the times have fallen as a result.
Yeah, impressive lap times over in Malaysia, and now is the perfect time to cross over live to our man on the ground who's been doing sterling work all week in some pretty punishing hot conditions. We say a very good morning from Europe. Good afternoon to Simon over there in Malaysia. Hope you're well, mate. You've seen some unbelievable action already today. The riders are still out there. Some have saved soft tyre to try and knock Danilo Petrucci off that top spot. But, Simon, we expected fireworks. But talk us through that 1:58.239 that Petrucci set this morning. That must have just set the whole paddock alight and made everybody wish that March the 10th, the opening round in Qatar, was tomorrow. Breathtaking stuff.
Well, you're right, Matt. We knew the third day was a test went through the days. We knew it was going to build up, technology, but it's been by far the most exciting day because first there was all the technology side, then there was the incredible lap times and the amount of people doing them, and finally for me was the rookie, like Bagnaia, how fast, they're like stunning really. And so yeah, by far the most exciting day. When the garages rolled up their doors, we saw the Ducati garage. It was like they were bristling with new equipment, and so for example, new swing arm, new chassis. There are only slight adjustments but recognisable different because I'm staring at them all the time, and then the aero package, which was very easy for everyone to see. And then I've got to say that the fastest times, the time that Petrucci set was done on the old aero. He didn't test the new one till later, but it was done on the new swing arm, new chassis. In general, Ducati, like you said, they've got to be feeling good, Talking to Davide Tardozzi, he's not. He said you can't rest on your laurels, you've got to keep fighting forward. But yeah, the test has gone well. Absolutely stunning stuff. But having said that, when Petrucci did test the new aero fairing, he broke it. It was a big crash. Like I heard it while doing an interview, that the sliding went on forever. I was like, hope he's all right. Then Danilo, not far afterward, walked past in his, his trademark walk, and he was absolutely fine. then a little bit later, I'd say an hour or two later, Jack did the same with Pramax version of that new aero package Ducati have, and so I don't think there's any more here. I think they're both broken. We saw the arm, you know, that we saw it. You know, it's a torque arm that goes to the rear brake from the chassis. Saw that come back. Danilo tested it only, and yeah, fantastic, exciting day.
To a name you just mentioned there, who's really impressed everybody. We knew he was going to be good. We knew he was going to be special. He is the Moto2 World Champion. Of course, he won the World Championship right there in Malaysia back in October. Simon Pecco Bagnaia. I mean, like you say, we know he's on a year-old GP18. We know the potential of that bike. It's a proven race-winning package. But as a rookie, one thing that I've learned over the years with rookie riders at this stage of their careers, to go out there effectively in mock qualifying mode, take your brain out, low fuel load, brand new soft tyres, with his level of experience, to have the confidence to do that, the talent to do that, is truly remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Matt. Fantastic, you know, to do that lap time. I'd like to step back a little bit though and say, you know, it's one really good thing about this year, I keep saying, is the worst bike on the grid is a factory 2018 bike. And when you look at the Real Aventia bikes and you look at which are the same as Pecco has, and that's like 2018 plus. You're talking like the end of 2018. So they're very little difference from the factory bikes, which is great. You know, that's what makes it so good. When you look at the Sepang Petronas team, same thing, 2019 bikes. So it's so good, period, for being a rookie. You have the machinery and the same tyres, you know, to show what you can do. Having said that, you know, as impressive as Bagnaia's time was, like, it's stunning. There's no taking away from it. What I'd like to say and about all of those amazing times is they are one-off laps, you know, which is great in qualifying. Really, when you put a new rubber with sticky edge on it, really all the side, that's where they drop off real quick. It's right on the edge, you know. You try and open the throttle, it's gone. And I would say that coming from a smaller bike, that's what you are used to using, you know. And when the tyre drops off, you know, race runs, I'll be even more impressed if Pecco can run with the guys. I don't think at this stage he will. That's my gut feeling, but it won't be long.
Yeah, Simon, moving away from Ducati, just quickly on to Maverick Vinales, who we know has done a seriously impressive race simulation earlier on this afternoon. 5 of his 20 laps were in the 159s. And like you say, it's all okay getting that headline-grabbing showcase fast lap time, but all these guys, they know the importance of getting crucial data and information over race runs. Everybody that we've spoken to over the last 2 or 3 days, Simon, has said the most impressive guy out there in terms of rhythm and race pace has been Maverick Vinales. That race simulation, super impressive. What's been your impression of Maverick's performance over these 3 days? Because he looks like he's in great nick.
Yeah, he's a different Maverick to 12 months ago. You know, when you talk to him, how you know, he wasn't happy a lot of last year, was he? And he's not like that at all. At the end of last year, it kind of changed, and he's been like that the whole test here, upbeat and happy, you know. Like he tells me he's giving Yamaha a hard time. Still, he wants that bike to go forward. But yeah, he's looking both fast when it comes to qualifying, you know, like putting in a good lap, but also race runs. He's got to be a favourite. But having said that, there's 2 things. There is like a lot of the Ducati, especially the factory 2 guys, I would say are the same. You know, they're really good on lap time, but also race runs. And I would say Rins as well. I would say those guys would be my favourites at the moment if you send them out to have a race, you know. And the final thing I keep saying about the Yamaha is, like I've said maybe the last 1 or 2 nights, is that they were good here in the race. I want to see what they can do when they get to another circuit, because last year was like up and down, and we need to see them at a few circuits to see if they can, you know what I'm saying, if the problem's fixed. Yamaha rolled out some new, first time we saw anything new visibly on the bike today, and the aero package looked really cool. It was kind of a wing and then another wing after it, and Suzuki also with their new wing, and KTM had a new wing as well, that they had a short run, and believe it or not, Honda as well. So yeah, we've seen a bunch of new products out there today.
Thanks as always, Simon. No rest for the wicked, as they say. I know you've got a bunch of interviews still to get through. The track is still open for about another 20 minutes, actually, over there in Malaysia. They were live pictures that we just saw of Maverick Vinales, and we know from Simon Crafer, he had a little chat with Massimo Meregali earlier on today that they'd kept a couple of soft tyres back, so maybe that 1:58.239 from Danilo Petrucci still under the threat. For the time being, though, Simon, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Neil? Well, we've just talked about it there, Maverick Vinales. In terms of race pace, we know that the Ducatis quite clearly have got sensational, blistering speed for one lap. Petrucci and Dovizioso were impressive yesterday in their race runs, but they were not able to, like Maverick Vinales have done today, lap consistently in those 1:59s. His name keeps cropping up. Whenever the journalists are asking riders who has impressed you this week, the number 12, his name keeps cropping up, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah. Cal Crutchlow was asked yesterday about people vying for a fast lap time at the end of the day, and he said that basically lots of guys were doing one-off quick times, but Maverick certainly wasn't one of them. He was a guy that was consistently fast. I think he did a 10-lap run yesterday with used race tyres. 7 of those laps were in the 1:59s, which shows real good pace. Just before we came on air, Matt, we looked at Maverick's race run that he did there today, a race simulation which was around 20 laps. Quite a few 59s in there as well, and low minute 2 minutes. So yeah, he's looking really, really strong.
Yeah, these are pictures from Maverick Vinales. Of course, he was quickest on track yesterday after Marc Marquez had dominated the opening day, the reigning world champion. Vinales was saying to the media last night there, which I thought was really interesting, he said it feels like after the change that Yamaha have made over the winter, we know there's been this big management reshuffle behind the scenes in Awata, lots of change in the engineering group, that he feels like the DNA of the M1 is back, and all he pretty much said was, if we can just find a little bit more smoother power delivery, I'll feel as good as what I did when I came to Yamaha in 2017, when of course he had that sensational start, winning 3 of the first 5 races. It seems like Maverick is a whisker away from rediscovering that golden touch with the bike.
It does seem that way, yes, and there was another thing that he said yesterday which I thought was quite comforting for Maverick Vinales supporters, which was, we're much better than 2018 already. I feel a lot better than I did at any point during last season, but that means nothing because we're still only at the first test of the season. We have to go to Qatar in 2 weeks' time and understand what the bike feels like there, and then go to the first race. So it's mature from him. He's not getting too carried away too soon, and certainly his times today on track suggest he's going to be one of the favourites this year.
Yeah, well, it's not just been Maverick Vinales that's been very, very happy with progress made on the Yamaha M1 over the winter. Valentino Rossi also complimenting the work done by engineers back in Awata. So let's find out a detailed analysis of how Yamaha feel this first test of 2019.